So if you haven't heard of AI agents, you're in for a rude awakening because these are about to disrupt business in every single sector, right? So an AI agent is basically an AI employee for your business. It's going to be able to do most of the entry level jobs in the world just as good as current entry level people. It's still not at the level of advanced, but it's quickly getting to the level of being able to handle pretty much any entry level job that you're going to get on the internet. So, if you don't implement these into your business in 2025, then you're going to have a massive leg down on businesses that are using this, right? And so, in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about why AI agents are going to be so disruptive, how to implement them into your business, and pretty much what you need to know about the AI agent space. So, let's dive in. So as we can see here, an AI agent is literally just an AI object that can make decisions. So whenever you're asking it to do something, right now, if you want to automate your business, you have to add specific workflows for every single thing that you want to do. Most of the people online that talk about AI agents are literally just doing it's still like not that good, right? What they're going to do is set up something in NAN. It's pretty solid where you're going to connect it to some sort of Telegram, WhatsApp, SMS thing, and you're going to say like, hey, send an email to this person, and it's going to go and query your email. But in order to get these running currently, what you have to do is essentially build out every single potential action that you want them to take. So maybe it's draft an email, send an email, add something to the calendar, add a new campaign to your email campaign, so no matter like if you want to build a team of agents right now, it's a lot of development work up front because you literally have to think of every micro action that someone's going to take and you have to build a workflow for it that the agent can call using its own decision making ability. This is still better than nothing, and if you were to get this started with this right now, it would massively help your business. But what I'm predicting is that within uh, a year, we're going to have agents that can literally do all of these things without us having to build all of the micro workflows that these agents will take. So what this means is essentially that give it 6 to 12 months and anyone's going to be able to install agents in their business, and the businesses that don't install agents are going to basically make business much harder for themselves. So I'm going to dive into a little bit of how you would think about setting this up, some of the different models that are coming online, and basically what to watch out for. So there's a couple different things here, but the thing that's all the hype right now, you probably hear a million people online talking about Vappy. It's basically a voice AI. It can handle inbound calls and do this sort of thing. So when we're thinking about how do you scale a business with AI, there's a couple ways to do it, right? You either increase sales systems and marketing systems, or you increase customer fulfillment, right? If you do those two things, you have a business, right? So a lot of people these days are building outbound calling agents, inbound agents, where if you call a business, you talk to an AI that knows everything about their business, can direct you to the right place. And then outbound agents is like a sales, pretty much a basic level BDR or SDR that's going to be like making calls for you. So my prediction is that like, I mean, you tell me what your experience is, but everyone hates cold calls. Everyone hates receiving cold calls in general is a really shitty process that no one wants, and there's like a really bad distaste in people's mouths for cold callers. On top of that, um, no one wants it. So I really don't think outbound voice agents are all the hype. People are getting hyped up about them because they're selling them to businesses for $5,000 a pop and basically making a bunch of money. But when you really look at it, I don't think that where things are heading is that you're going to make a bunch of money by setting up an AI that's going to do outbound calls for you. The thing that's really going to revolutionize is AI content systems and AI sales systems. So sales systems, this means like how do you funnel inbound attention onto your brand website into sales calls? That's very much in the marketing domain as well. And then how do you basically convert those people and build systems that make it as effortless as possible for someone to go from a new lead to a sale? So this is what we're thinking about, not how do we get them. Right now, how do we get them? That's going to be either cold email, you're going to be doing outreach, but long term, it's all going to be inbound, is my prediction. So what does this mean? This means that agents are getting better. Right now, we already have content AI augmented content creation, and AI content's going to take over the internet whether we like it or not. And so I don't really see a world where a business can survive unless it really masters AI content generation. But this doesn't mean that you just want to spam the world with a million different pieces of content that suck. The way you position yourself is that essentially what you're doing is you're figuring out how to create really high quality content with AI, and you're spending a lot of time upfront. Like the initial upfront investment is very high. So what you essentially want to do is spend as much time as possible upfront generating the prompts. Like prompt engineering is going to be extremely valuable. I mean, maybe on a long enough time horizon, it's not that valuable because AI gets so good that you don't even need to spend all your time on the prompt. But for now, prompt engineering is extremely valuable, and you need to know how to do it well, because this is what's going to create the good outputs. So whether you want to create personalized messages or content that is highly relevant to your brand's voice, into your niche, into these sectors, this is what's going to matter, right? And so right now you can build different systems, whether in make.com, N8N, and I'm going to actually walk through some of these in this video. But the thing that you need to know is that agents are going to be able to create content at some point, and it's going to be able to go out and do research on your brand, and we can build all these systems to essentially do research on your brand, and I think they're still going to be valuable. But on a long enough time horizon, you're just going to have an agent take the place of a social media person. You're going to give it all of the knowledge base articles that you want on your brand. You're going to say, hey, go figure out my tone and voice, go research what is hot in this niche right now that I'm in, that I'm trying to sell to, go figure out how to create the best content, and then I'm the one that gives you the ideas of what to create, or you give me ideas of what to create, and I kind of discern, oh, this is like a good idea, this one's not, and there's some level of feedback between the agent and the person that's doing the content. But one social media person is going to be able to run an entire company's social media, rather than right now where you have social media teams of 5 to 10 people, and just like the organic strategy is just taking a lot of time and effort. So right now, if you see my last video, you can set up a basic agent using Claude's computer use model, and basically Claude computer use is not great. It still has a lot of work to go, but it's pretty revolutionary in that it is an agent, and you can ask it to do anything and it will go and figure out what to do and take actions on your behalf on your computer. So as agents get better and better over time, you're going to need to install them into your business if you want to stay alive. So let me actually walk you through some of the systems that you can build right now that are not that difficult to build, that when you build them will 10x the quality of your business. So here we have lots of different content generation systems. So this one, for example, this YouTube video that you're watching right now, this is just like a Loom type video that I recorded, and I added it into this content repurposing system, which then goes out and it's going to post it as short form. It's going to post it on all these different platforms, right? You'll see an MVP of this on a lot of people's AI YouTube channels, but essentially I've up-leveled this a lot and basically said that it's going to post carousels, threads, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. But the interesting thing here is that it's actually figuring out all of the things to put into the YouTube video, and then I'm having a virtual assistant go and design the graphic in Canva. And so this process is literally just me recording these videos, and then everything else happens on it. So this is like, but the thing is that this is like V3 for me that I built. And imagine what V10 is going to look like, right? This content is all right, but the improving the prompts, there's a lot of room for improving the prompts, even though we literally use prompt engineering techniques to split test these prompts hundreds of times, that there's always room to improve prompts. There's always room to improve copywriting, to use various copywriting techniques to make your copy better. And so this is what it looks like right now, but imagine when you can just ask an agent to say, hey, take this video, go and repurpose it based on the best techniques in the market right now, not the ones that we developed and hard-coded it into the system, right? So this is really where content is going. And you don't want to just, again, like, people can tell if you don't put much effort into your prompt and you say, just write me a LinkedIn post. So you have to put a lot of effort into the specific inputs and prompts that you're giving this if you want your content to actually be engaging with people. And if your input is good enough, if your core article, newsletter, YouTube video, whatever you're using to create the initial content is good enough, people won't care if it's AI. Like, I probably read and watch AI content all the time, but if it's engaging enough, if it's valuable enough to my life and solving a core enough problem, I don't really care if it's AI, right? I just want to improve my quality of life. So the second thing is going to be operational and sales systems. I guess that's two more things, but let me go into some of the sales first, and we'll go into operations. So sales is like, how do you streamline sales processes? You want to go from sales call to proposal as fast as possible. So we built a system where it basically takes a type form, creates a proposal, sends it off, right? Another thing is you want to automate like cold outreach. So cold outreach, I think, is dying, but there's still at least a few years left where you can get a lot of clients from it and actually like start building momentum in your business enough so that when eventually cold outreach becomes way more difficult and not profitable, you can switch only to inbound marketing or LinkedIn DMs or whatever. And so this is essentially where we're triggering different phantom modules. Phantom Buster is how you like capture leads, where we're enriching them. We are adding them to, we're putting them through AI modules. We're running them through any email finder. Like there's a lot of different sales automations that you can create. But the big thing that you need to know is that it's not that difficult to create these automations. And if you want to really put your business forward, you can implement some of these automations right now before agents are like accessible to everyone. And just the biggest thing is keep an eye out for agents. Keep an eye out for when there is a release of an agent that is actually really simple to build, and pounce on it basically. And so as you can see here, a lot of people in the space focus on operations, sales, all this stuff, kind of like what I'm showing you, which is valuable. Like for example, I created this SOP creator, which essentially I do a Loom video like this of a process. I upload it to a Drive folder, and it goes and takes the transcript and converts it into an SOP and adds it into a Notion database. That is one of the processes for, streamlining a business. As you can see here, we're taking the Drive file, we're downloading it, we're converting it to MP3, we're extracting the transcript, we're having Claude convert that transcript, and then we're adding it into Notion. So now let me get into the really interesting stuff. So like you can operationalize a business, operationalize onboarding, all this stuff with AI. But the really interesting thing is, how do you write high quality content? If everything's moving towards content and inbound long term, how do you actually augment this with AI in a way where it's still deeply engaging to people? And even if they know it's AI, they still consume it because it's that good. And this is where you can get ahead of most people in the space, because most people just create these basic automations that they see. And it's basically like, take this and create, like, there's like one AI module that says create a post based on this, and then it posts it on like social media. But the thing you need to know is like, you have to understand copywriting, right? If you want to succeed in AI generated, like AI supported content generation, you have to understand copywriting on a very base level. So if you can see, I've created a system called the Ultimate LinkedIn Content System. But as you can see here, there's literally 5 different scenarios where we're finding pain points, we're writing headlines, we're writing posts, we're rewriting headlines. Like there's a lot of different steps to creating high quality content. And if you want to do that, start thinking about, what are the copywriting frameworks that I want to use? What type of content is good? How can I train the AI on that content that is good? Et cetera, et cetera. So this is a little bit of insight. You can watch the other video if you want to see me go into each of these different scenarios. But the essence of it is that you have to be thinking about, how do I create this 10-step strategy to create high quality content, not just how do I input like an article through one AI module to generate content, or how do I learn prompt engineering to make the output better. And so this is a little bit of what we're thinking about in the near term. If you understand APIs, if you understand how to use JSON, if you understand these things, you're going to put yourself ahead of 99% of people trying to build AI automations. But this is much bigger than just AI automations. The AI automation agency is becoming really popular. It's a business model that is working, so a lot of people are hopping on the train for good reason. There's nothing wrong with hopping onto the AI automation train. But something to think about is that this isn't just like a new... You can sell this to an infinite amount of different businesses, roofing companies, real estate companies. You can sell this to SaaS companies, NGOs, blockchain companies, right? The thing that's going to make you successful is saying, like, testing out different offers and using AI agents to augment both your processes and your operations and marketing and sales. And so both like operations, marketing, sales, you want MVP systems in each of these categories to be able to run your business. But the next thing that you need to know is like once you have those base MVP systems that either agents or make.com type systems are running or N8N type systems are running, then what you need to know is then it's just about how quickly can you test different hypotheses, iterate on them, and figure out which offers actually work. Because if you're doing the sales, if you're doing the revenue generating activities where you're actually testing out offers and getting on sales calls, that's what's actually going to take you